I hate gift giving and receiving.
Receiving gifts is so weird. What do you say? Thank you?
This is Coffee Convos with Kail Lowry and Lindsie Chrisley.
I really want you to be in your feels, Kail.
That does not interest me whatsoever.
I feel very attacked by you.
A spirited discussion about motherhood, friendship, family, and life in the public eye.
I'm just not with the fakery anymore.
There's a fakery bakery around here.
Here's Kail and Lindsie.
Hello, Coffee Combos.
Good morning, kitty gang. You know what I wanted to start this episode with? And then I just lost train of my thoughts. I was going to be like, hey, Kail. And you were going to be like, hey, what? I'm going to be like, are you ready to what? To jig. Jig what? Jiggle, my hands up high, my feet down low. And that's the way I jiggle low. Jig, low, jig, low. Do you remember that from high school?
Is that a cheer?
Yeah. Like, do you remember this from high school?
No, I don't remember that cheer. I don't remember that cheer at all.
Well, good morning. Are you ready to jig?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm ready to jig. It's pouring rain outside, and I thought that I was going to get ready and look cute because Lincoln has his chorus concert tonight, and it's just pouring rain. So I started camera on, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go camera off and get ready later.
Okay. First of all, what the heck is a chorus concert? Is he in chorus?
Yes, it's elementary school.
What do you mean? They all sing and stuff?
Yes, they.
What?
Did Jackson not have them in? Well, he's the same age as Lincoln. Maybe is he in third or fourth grade?
He's in third grade, but
yeah. So is Lincoln. So they don't do chorus concerts.
I feel like the last time they ever did a school sing thing was in kindergarten, and that was the last time. I've never been to one, so I certainly hope my child's not up there singing and I'm not attending. But do you remember back when we were in school when you got the note sent home where your parents had to buy the recorder?
No, we didn't have to buy ours because we just got them. We didn't have to buy them. They just gave them to us.
Your school district must have been rich.
We just were really small. The population of the town was 4,000. So it was so small.
We had to buy ours, and I was so terrified of losing it if I wasn't going to have it for the performance. It was a big deal. And then you performed for your parents for Christmas, and you were really shy about it because you were really afraid to fuck up. It's a big deal.
I didn't even learn the songs on it. I just pretended.
You've been a bamboozler for a while.
I just have never, even when I played the trumpet in sixth grade, if I didn't know the song, I just pretended, But there were, at least the trumpet, I knew some of them, but the recorder, no, I was a lost fucking cause.
Oh my God, man. What have you been doing this morning?
Well, I was trying to get ready, and then I didn't. I ate some chicken minis from Chick-fil-A, and I got Starbucks, and now we're here.
That is such a good morning. When you get to get Chick-fil-A, I'm going to say and Dunkin', but you're going to be Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. That is a great freaking morning. I woke up, managed to shower, and watched a little bit of Grey's Anatomy while I did some work prep. And I'm telling you, Kristen and I talked about it on the Southern Tea, so I don't really want to get too much into it, but y'all are on to something with Grey's, and I just wanted to give a special thanks to you where everybody hears my gratefulness.
I just love it. I'm still watching, and I just don't know what I'm going to do when it's not on anymore because Meredith just announced her leaving the show.
You're just going to rewatch what you've already watched.
Literally.
No, I'm telling you. Okay, so I had on my watch list I forget what the name of the show or the series is about the Texas whatever. Have you seen that?
The Texas.
It popped up on my Netflix thing.
Wait. Oh, the Texas killing thing.
Yeah. So I
haven't started it, but I want to watch it.
I have it on my watch list. I have also not started it, but I will tell you, I'm hearing a lot of mixed reviews on it. So be interested to watch that. I just finished the Casey Anthony doc last night. Can't wait to talk about that. Just not going to be on this episode. And also I want to watch Where the Crawdads Sing. Have you seen it?
I have not. That nothing sounds good about that to me. I definitely want to watch the Texas killing thing. And then I started the Casey Anthony docuseries last night. I had to use my friend Morgan's login because I don't have Peacock. And I literally didn't even finish a full episode yet. And I'm already horrified.
I have a lot of thoughts on it, but I'm not going to tell you guys about those thoughts because I have other shit to do today. But we'll be talking about it in the coming episodes. Outside of that, I've just been stressing over here considering the fact that I've bought 3 Christmas presents in total. And yeah, I was much more prepared last year than I was this year.
Have you heard of Amazon?
Yeah, I literally had Kristen put on my calendar to like buy Christmas presents. Like it's like an event.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I haven't been buying Christmas presents obviously, but I have been taking advantage of like when I see things on sale that I know the boys want or need. Like Lincoln asked for could I get him a vest?
Wait, what?
So
like a puffer?
Yeah, like a North Face puffer. But you know what? I'm having a really hard time finding anything in his size. Like, because he wants to be a cool kid. He's a cool kid. He is a cool kid, but he wants to be like cool. And he wants like Nike Tech outfits. Do you know I've checked every single fucking store that sells Nike Tech and they do not have his size. They have Creed and Lux's size and then they have Isaac's size, but they do not have Lincoln's size. I go on Dick's. I find the North Face puffer vests, 2 colors. I sent him a text. Hey, which one do you like? He liked the black one. Black one doesn't come in his size. Like, and then the shoes, he asked for 1 pair of shoes. Go to find them. Can't find them in his size.
Let me tell you, Jackson is not really like into fashion. He is into jerseys and Jordans. Like that's it.
Oh, that sounds like that's fashion for Lincoln.
I absolutely love it. It's like their fashion. But I haven't run into a size issue yet. So that's very, very interesting.
I don't know what it is, but it's just Lincoln's freaking size. And I feel so bad because Lincoln doesn't ask me for much. Like and when it's clothes and shoes, if I can do it, I'm going to do it, especially because they grow so freaking fast. And he passes everything that doesn't fit him to Lux because they have similar styles. So I don't mind, getting those things for him. And it just sucks because I'm like, hey, which one do you like? And now I'm having to check the sizes before I even ask him because poor thing can't get anything in his damn size.
Let me tell you, if my son ever came down these stairs and said, Mom, buy me a puffer vest, I'd be like, go to bed. Go to bed. Like, right I don't have time.
Just go to bed.
To entertain this fashion. Okay. Like, really do not have time for it. Before we really get into the fun things that we want to talk about, I had been sitting pretty quiet regarding all of my family stuff, my parents' sentencing, and wanted to just take a moment to address that stuff and then move on to happier things. This is not my favorite thing to ever do. Quite frankly, it makes me feel like I want to shit my pants and just don't love it. But I did want to take a minute to thank everyone. There's been so many listeners from our community that have reached out to me in the past few weeks regarding my family. And I have regularly talked about wanting to take a step back to process everything before speaking and making any statements. And I know that you can really relate to me on that. I've thought more and then rethought about it again. And after thinking about it, Coffee Combos truly is some of my biggest supporters. And I love this community that we have created jointly. So it made sense for me to make the official statement here. The past few months have been extremely hard for me and my family. I am heartbroken over the updates in my parents' case that occurred late last month. And I know some of the media tried their best to twist my response to this and make it something that it's not, but that's what the media likes to do. And at the end of the day, there truly is no tea.
Coffee Combos podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. This holiday season, do something for a special person in your life, you. Give yourself a gift to raise your spirits, but not just for the day. This is something that we just talked about, and getting through some holiday things with family. Maybe you don't have a family. Maybe you are struggling to get along with some of them. This is somewhere safe that you can talk about how you're feeling and what you can truly do about it. And that's a gift in and of itself.
The holidays can be a really rough time. I actually was talking about this with Jackson's therapist the other day. Between managing family dynamics, racing from thing to thing, and braving the cold or darker weather, it's normal to feel down, and having someone to talk about how you're feeling and what you can do about it truly is a gift. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists 100% online. Plus, it's affordable. You're just going to fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist at any time. It could not be simpler. You're not going to do waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. You can learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/coffee. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/coffee. I'm heartbroken. I'm navigating this process the best way I know how, as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter, and as a friend. And at the end of the day, this is a real family, and it's my family. And these are real and raw emotions. And with all of that being said, there's also been some other really hurtful interviews and incidents over the past few weeks that I wanted to address further while we're on the topic. One of these things is, as you guys know, Facebook, you tend to be, for me, and I don't know, Kail, about how yours is, but on my personal Facebook, I'm friends with anyone from like high school, anyone that I've known pretty much my whole life, or my parents' acquaintances or friends from high school, or people who like know us from our hometown. I think that's more like the Facebook community that I have.
Like you know them like you know them.
Yeah. And so
yeah, I'm the same. I don't add anyone I don't know on Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, mine's just kind of like, I think I've got like 2,000 friends or something on there. I don't even know, but it's pretty much like, if I don't know that person directly, we had like a ton of mutual friends in common that I knew that like my parents had to have known them in high school. And I had been scrolling on Facebook over the weekend and ran across this Facebook post, and it was a photoshopped picture of my dad and the Tiger King. And it was sexually suggestive, and also making fun of prison and incarceration. And when I saw it, you have to understand, I'm taking these things very personally because it is my family, and that is my dad. And, you know, I think that it was very just foul and tasteless, and just a complete lack of couth for anyone to go out and post something like that. It's dehumanizing. And to know that like somebody did this that went to high school with my dad and with my mom, and makes me wonder, like, was this person like a bully to one of my parents in high school? I have absolutely no idea. But what was even more disheartening was a church that I regularly attended growing up, their vacation Bible schools, whatever, a deacon in the church had gone on there. And you know how you can do like those reactions on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just stop you right there? What is a deacon?
So it's someone, a leader in a church. And in my opinion, if you are, it's a voted position. And so if you are holding a position in a church, I feel that it is fair to say that you're okay with being held accountable at a higher standard than anyone else. The congregation is voting you to that position. And
okay.
I go on because I'm being so nosy at this point, and it's got 14 reactions on there. So I'm like, okay, let me find out who this person knows and how I would know them. And I see this name of this person that I know that has attended a church that I attended as a child, and knew that this person knew my dad's family and was laughing at this. And I'm like, okay, that's just horrible. And then it brought really bad thoughts, because I'm like, okay, you know what? That's the type of people that actually bring Christians bad names, because you're out here being a holy roller on Sunday, and you're being a leader in a church on a Sunday and probably Wednesday nights, but then yet you're out here reacting on Facebook to something like this. It's foul. So that to me was just really disheartening. And I did call the person out. I am human. And when I saw it, it made me very sad, but more so sad for them, because any person that would do something like that, it's a them problem, not what they're posting problem.
I'm sad because I feel like that's, to your point, you hold them to a higher standard of being held accountable. And it's just I'm actually going through something similar. These going to church and being held, you're a deacon. So what the hell are you doing going against everything that you supposedly stand for?
Well, it's hypocrisy at its finest. And that's what I said. And I'm not, going to go out here and say I'm a perfect Christian, because absolutely I'm not, but I'm also not preaching that I am.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. Don't use your Christianity as your whole personality and then turn around and go against everything that you supposedly stand for. Like, that's just not, you are giving Christians a bad name. You're putting a bad taste in people's mouth who you could have brought to the church. You are making the ones that attend your church and look up to you, you're making them, you know what I mean? Just like look dumb.
Well, absolutely. And so that was one thing that happened. And, people are going to post and people are going to say and do whatever they want to do. And unfortunately, we don't have control of that. None of us have control of that. Even if you aren't in the public eye and you're having a local dispute, I mean, people are going to post and put whatever they want to on Facebook. That's just the name of the game. And I understand that. But another incident that happened to me was the day after my parents' sentencing. I went to dinner with Jackson, my friend Callie, and Bo and their 2 kids. And we were all like in a big booth at a local pizza place. And this situation, Kail, like when I tell you have you ever been in a situation where your heart just feels like it drops through your butthole?
Yes. And there's a lump in your throat. Yes. 100%.
So our large booth was facing their large booth. So they're like across from each other. And this woman is literally talking about my parents' sentencing and, the importance of paying taxes. And I mean, she's being loud, and like you can hear literally the entire conversation. And so I'm sitting there. Obviously, I hear it. My girlfriend hears it. And so she calls her out and she's like, could you not? And I'm sitting there. I make eye contact with her. This woman looks at her husband and she's like, oh, well, that's one of them talking about me. And so at this point, I just kind of like hang my head, because I'm not going to engage like this. My parents were just sentenced the day before, and I'm absolutely heartbroken and devastated. I'm just trying to go and get pizza and take my kid to a place where he could go and play games and it be like a quiet little private place, just like local little restaurant, right? So she kind of gets in this, I wouldn't say it was like really a spat, but it wasn't like not a spat with my girlfriend. And my girlfriend's like, that would probably be a conversation for you to have maybe like in your home or in your personal car, but at a restaurant sitting here and you've identified that, you're talking about someone whose parents were just sentenced yesterday and they're sitting here. It's just rude and completely uncalled for. This is a public place. And so they kind of went at it for a few minutes, and I finally just picked my head up and I said, if you please would just like save the conversation for somewhere else, because I am their child. We're a real family. And this is their grandchild that's sitting right here. And I will say, when she got up to leave, she tapped me on my shoulder. She did apologize, for doing it. But I think the lack of self-awareness that we deal with, and I've been guilty of being, not being self-aware in certain situations, but through this, I have definitely learned like there is a time and a place for everything. And those types of situations should never happen. And when children are involved, even more so shouldn't be happening.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that definitely even opens my eyes, because I'm sure that I've also not been self-aware. Like, just in things that you say around, you don't know who's around, you don't know who's watching or listening or can hear you and not trying to listen. I'm definitely guilty of not always being aware. So that even opens my eyes.
And I will say, again, the woman did apologize. And I think that it was a conversation that she was having at her table, not realizing that I was there. But again, read a room.
Right.
Know where you are, know you're in a local pizza place in an open booth, and that everybody can hear your entire conversation. So like probably not the venue. And the last thing I'm going to say on all of this is, and this is last, but certainly not least, I wanted to touch on the story that gained a ton of traction earlier this week regarding my niece and her biological mother. Chloe has been legally adopted by my parents. Her biological mother, Angela, went to a tabloid and, gave her whole spiel on everything. And as much as I can sympathize with her as a mother, and I look at the situation as a collective whole, I look at Chloe having biological parents and having adoptive parents and, mental health and the situation with my parents' sentencing and all of these things. I'm looking at that. I can sympathize with her as a mother. I don't understand the situation because I have not been in her situation. So for me to say I understand something that I have not been in would be wrong and misleading. But at the same time, I very much can sympathize with her. Basically, the story was that she wanted Chloe to be returned, in her terms, home. And Chloe is home. And I want to make that very clear. Chloe has been with my parents roughly since she was 6 months old. Medical records, school records, court documents will prove this. That's not Angela's word, my word, or their word, but that is the truth. Her first birthday party was broadcast on national TV. And it's very disheartening when you see things that are being said that are just so blatantly false. I do understand wants, desires, and needs, but we do have to take a step back as adults and as parents and look at what is best for a child and not for us. And I know that you can relate to that as well, going through custody situations that, sometimes the things that you want, you and I've had this conversation on Coffee Combos before, that sometimes the things that you want and desire look very different than what is in the best interest of the child. And that was the advice that I was given by my family attorney through my divorce process, as well as my son's therapist, that you always need to look at what's best for the child and not what is best for you. That same thing is going to apply in this situation. Exposing this situation to the media regarding a minor child is mind-blowing to me. My parents have always had phones, still have phones, and they have an open line. They also have open and public social media. And to my knowledge, there has been no attempt of communication outside of the direct communication with the media. I encourage that she reach out if she have any concerns, but don't further dehumanize the situation by using the media to support your false narrative. I can assure you that my family's attorneys are very versed on what can and cannot happen. They have Chloe's best interest at heart and know the law, adoption laws, and what it means when a parent terminates their rights voluntarily. I would also like to say, when we're talking about transitions, when it comes time for my parents to report, that as a mother, you have to look at transitions and minimizing those. And the most minimal transition would be for Chloe to stay in her same location with her same therapist, with the people that she knows, around a support system that she has known and grown up with. She has great grandparents that are heavily involved with her, that are going to support my sister through the process. Julie's parents are very involved with Chloe, and my nanny is also very involved with her. And so I think to remove her from the situation and where she is now, looking at all of the things collectively, would be so many transitions for her that she would not be able to cope. And for those reasons, I'm speaking as a mother, I don't feel that that would be in Chloe's best interest. I have had no communication with Kyle in many years. However, I have been told that he works nights and sleeps days. I'm proud that he is on the right track, stable and employed. With that being said, I also feel certain that the best way to deal with any concerns regarding Chloe would be best handled privately with my parents, whom are also her parents. At the end of the day, my family and myself love Chloe so much. And with everything going on, the fact that people are trying to rip her from the life that she knows for selfish reasons is not only disgusting, but making the situation even more heartbreaking. And with all of that being said, entire situation is sad, entire situation is heartbreaking, entire situation is uncertain. But I do think every single person that loves us, supports us, and prays for us. We feel the prayers. I know that I personally do, and it means the world to me. And I can also say that it means the world to my family.
And we're going to be here. You know that you have so much love and support from this community. So
I know you aren't praying, but you're manifesting.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct. Okay, so one thing this holiday season that's making everything easier between Christmas concerts at school, Isaac just joined drama club, is, we have so much going on still that Green Chef has made it super easy and simple to have dinners readily available for us, and everything gets delivered to our door. This is the #1 meal kit for eating well, which is so good. They have options for every lifestyle: keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. Green Chef makes it sticking to a carb-conscious lifestyle easy. And that's really nice because I have done keto, and I know a lot of our listeners have tried it as well. And so treat yourself to delicious premium recipes that support your wellness. I know Lindsie has used Green Chef. We've actually been talking about them for probably
forever.
4 years, 5 years. Yeah, forever.
I absolutely love Green Chef. I was actually just looking at their weekly menu, and they have such good stuff on there this week. A couple of things that I'm going to order is the Middle Eastern style beef bowls, the pork with balsamic fig sauce, and they also have a steak and butternut squash salad. I absolutely love their meals. They're not super plain, and I feel like I get to try things that I normally wouldn't make or buy the ingredients to get from the store myself. So that's something that I love. They have pre-measured sauces, dressings, and spices to make holiday hosting easy peasy, and gives you more time for celebrating. So if you are planning on hosting something and you're having, however many people over, you can order for that. And I love it. Right now, you guys can go to greenchef.com/convos599 and use code convos599 to get $5.99 per meal on your first box, and your first box ships free. Go to greenchef.com/convos599 and use code convos599 to get $5.99 per meal on your first box, and your first box ships free. The #1 meal kit for eating well.
All right, so what's the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? Is it checking your credit score? Because I don't think so. At Chime, that's what they do. With their secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start to build your credit with your own money, which is so nice. Chime reports your payments to credit bureaus to help you build credit over time. Their members see an increase of 30 points on average. All of this with no annual fees, large security deposits, or credit checks to apply. Kristen told me about this. I told Lindsie about it, and you guys need to check it out.
You guys can start your credit journey with Chime. Sign up, takes only 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/convos. That's chime.com/convos. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank and a pursuant to license from Visa USA Chime Credit Checking Account, and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some user scores may not improve. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply, except at MoneyPass ATMs and a 7-Eleven or any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. Well, with that being said, let's talk about something happy.
Okay, deal. Did you hear about the potential Mean Girls reboot?
No, I did not, but I absolutely love Mean Girls, so tell me everything you know about it.
So I saw it came up on my news feed, and it said Amanda Seyfried and Lindsay Lohan are down for a Mean Girls sequel, but it's all in Tina Fey's hands now. That's directly from Pop Sugar. It says Lindsay Lohan and Amanda Seyfried both want a Mean Girls sequel. That would be really fun, and that's in quotes. And I love that Lindsay Lohan she lost her way a little bit for a while, and she's kind of coming back. She did that. I think she did a Christmas movie on Netflix.
First of all, I am so here for a Mean Girls remake. Like, I probably watched that movie. I'm embarrassed to even try to calculate how many times. And I still quote it to this day.
Oh, you have to. It's a classic. Like, it is a classic. When I worked at PetSmart Grooming Salon back in 2013, Amanda Seyfried and her mom would bring their dogs to PetSmart Grooming.
And you absolutely loved every bit of it.
Every bit of it. And I had to literally swallow my spit, really, like I was like gulping because I was like fangirling so hard. And I'm like, just trying my best, not like, because you don't say anything to them. And I never said anything to them. I think my manager at the time I don't know if it was her dog or her mom's dog. But yeah, because she's from Allentown and we lived there for some time. So I love, what is it called? A redemption story. What is it? When someone makes a good comeback for Lindsay Lohan, she looks good. I didn't watch the movie. I think it's on Netflix. I haven't watched it, but I've heard, that she's kind of, trying to make her way back. And I love that for her.
I absolutely love that for her as well. Also, could you imagine, just last thing on this, if we had a burn book and like what would be in it?
Oh my God. What would burn books are like, you can literally find ones on Etsy. Like you can find like
fugly slut.
She is a fugly. I know the entire rap by Kevin Kapoor, and I just
wait, sing
it's
it for
almost
us.
Christmas time.
Rap it for us.
No,
now be Johnny on the spot. Let's go.
No, I'm gonna put it on tonight, and I'll sing it with you. I'll take a reel.
You swear?
I swear, and then I'll post it on my Instagram on Thursday.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Love that for you. We had a listener from our Facebook group ask for ideas for white elephant gifts. Said that the max would be like $40 to $50 range. First time doing this, and really want to get something that people would actually fight for.
That's how I feel. I love that energy because I can't tell you how many like Secret Santas or white elephant things that I've done that it's like junk. And it's like, can we please stop spending our money on stuff that nobody wants?
Okay, so I have a couple things to say about this. One thing is like not white elephant related, but then like the other is, Will and I used to do this when we were married, where we would be like, okay, you can't spend more than whatever. And I know that my parents have done this too. And it'll be like, okay, well, here's like the limit. or we're not doing Christmas this year, so we're just like not exchanging gifts. And then always like one of them tries to outdo the other one. Like I absolutely hate that. I hate limits, first of all, pretty much in everything in life, if we're being honest. I just like to get a gift that I know that somebody likes and not,
Right.
you know, obviously like budgeting, I get that. But at the same time, if you're talking about, you know, like spouse, boyfriend, whatever, it's like, okay, well, the budget might be like a little bit more for you. I hate that. I hate like being like, oh, well, I can't get that, but I know that he really wants it, but it's like over the limit. Like I hate that. A white elephant gift, $40 to $50. I'm trying to think.
See, that was the same thing. Javi and I, when we were married, we did do Christmas, and his family's so big that we did the Secret Santa situation, and they always put like a limit on it. I never followed it because I wasn't spending my money on something that I knew like one year I got his one brother that loves the Eagles, and I bought him Eagles tickets because I was like, I'm literally not going to spend my money on something that's going to collect dust. He doesn't want it, and I'm not spending my money on that. So I never actually listened to the budget. And I know that's horrible, but again, same thing from like, I just don't want people to send my kids stuff that's going to collect dust and they're not going to use. Like, I'd rather them save their money and not get anything for my kids.
You know what? This has inspired me to do.
Maybe that's ungrateful, but that's how I feel.
This has inspired me to put together a list of good things within this range. And then I'll also post it on Thursday. I'm committing to this.
Okay. I'm gonna if I find anything, I'm also gonna send you some options.
Perfect. Also another thing from the Facebook group, I always like to get to these. It says, how do you accept that you're in a good and healthy relationship after only ever knowing toxic ones? I'm in a relationship with a really good guy. It's like he knows how to love me without even saying, I need this from you. And I love and appreciate him so much, but I really struggle with low self-worth and I have a lot of insecurities. My last relationship was almost 9 years ago, and you'd think the trauma would have faded by now. But I think because I just haven't dated since I haven't had the chance to work things out. I'd like to think I've grown as a person and I've been through therapy, but I just never had actual relationship experience. I'm not being a full-on loony or anything. There's just insecurities I have, and I'll sometimes vent to him about a mutual girlfriend we have that I think gets too cozy, or I'll find myself wondering if he's seeing someone else when I don't hear from him, things like that. How do you teach yourself to trust again or believe that when someone says that they love you, they actually mean it?
Ooh, this one's tough.
I want to start off really by saying if you ever have had insecurities or trauma from a previous relationship where there has been trust that has been broken, I think that makes it very hard to ever believe again. But you have to remember that this person isn't the last person.
It definitely takes time. And I don't love like the cliche of like, I explained that I was hurt before, and like, because it sucks for the new person who is showing you, you know, their genuine intentions, and it's not really fair to them to like bring the baggage. But also if you explain it to them in a way that is, you know, I don't want it to be this way forever. I don't want to not trust you forever. I am carrying some type of baggage into this relationship as far as like my trust issues, but I want to learn, I want to grow. But maybe being open to therapy, open your willingness to do, you know, things like that, because on one hand, if you have those trust issues, it's maybe not a good time for you to move into a new relationship. But at the same time, things are not black and white like that. Like that's just not how life works. So just, you know, being open about trying to move past that, excuse me, and having the open communication about it, because I feel like, you know, the right person is going to be patient when it comes to things like that.
Well, and I think sometimes there are certain traumas that until you're in something new, it takes you being in that new thing for you to really, truly work through it, because you can kind of go into like an avoidance pattern when you're not having to be vulnerable in that way.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
You know, but until you are and you're having to face it, then I think that's where some of these like triggers come up. I did want to say though, mutual girlfriend that gets too cozy. First of all, absolutely not. Like, know your place and stay out of my man's lane.
I wonder, like, because I've had that before with one person.
I know. That's why I said it.
The threesome person, but she's been that way with like, when we were friends, she was like that with all my partners. What do other people do? Like, do you say something to the friend? Do you not stay friends with them anymore? Like, what do you do?
Wait, back up. Has this person had a threesome in like every relationship of yours?
No. Like, we had a threesome with one of my partners, but then when I was married, she was also too friendly with him too.
Oh yeah, maybe she
like, it was like her personality.
Okay, it could be a couple of things. It could be that she actually grew feelings for you, and so she wanted to like insert herself possibly in that relationship as well. Or maybe she just really likes threesomes.
She wanted to, well, I really do like, remember Peach from the show You with Joe and Beck, and she was like Peach, because you know how Peach like had feelings for her, and then she ended up sleeping with the guy that Raj.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like that.
Well, I'm just not having threesomes, so that's that. We're just not doing that. We're not going to get cozy like that. Okay.
Do you hear my cat?
Which one? The one between your legs or
Gumball Venom? Gumball Venom is crying because she wants to get into my office, but I'm like, you can't come in here because they fuck with I had to put all my plants in my office because my cats keep trying to like fuck with them, and some of them are poisonous, and I don't want anything to happen to them.
Goodbye. Did you know that like poinsettias were poisonous to dogs?
And cats. They'll die if they have like one bite.
Wait, what? Is this a myth? Because like the chocolate thing, I don't know if that's like for sure true.
My dogs in the past have eaten chocolate and nothing has happened. I've heard, again, rumor, myth, I don't know. I've heard that dark chocolate is what's more poisonous to them.
Okay, well, I mean, we're not going to try it, but I also need everyone to tell us if they've had any experience with this and if it's true or false. And I also need to know if the poinsettia thing is true or false, because I always get Christmas poinsettias like every year. My dogs have never tried to eat them. I don't know if like they attract dogs and like dogs want to eat them or how that really happens. Maybe it's don't know.
Dogs that have like, what is it called? Not a predisposition. Like some dogs just like my dogs, they destroy things. They have separation anxiety. Like the dogs that are chewers or get into things that they shouldn't get into. But some dogs just don't do that.
Well, I'll tell you, Jackson is so clumsy. So I worry about him falling down the stairs. And now that I have my Christmas poinsettia out, it's like in this like Christmas snowman holder that kind of like sits low to the ground, and it's super cute. Will's dad bought it for me like a million years ago, and I kept it and still like love it. But I now have to worry about Jackson falling down the stairs with his basketball rolling down the stairs. And then I have to worry about Georgia eating the poinsettia. So my eyes are just like constantly going.
Your head's on a swivel.
It's literally on a swivel. I have to tell you what put my brain in a complete pretzel. And I was literally weeping when I was watching this video. I'm going to send it to you and I'll post it for everyone to be able to watch as well, but just be prepared. It's like a 30-minute video. And you will be absolutely heartbroken for the child, heartbroken for the parents. It's called The Longest Ride. You could have seen it before. This was a story that was covered like back in 2018. And then it resurfaced about like 6 days ago. The family claimed that the school district tried to cover up their autistic child's bus attack. And it's so much to like really dive into. So I want everyone to watch it, and you guys can write in and we can.
Is this a true?
It's a true story. Yeah, it's a true story.
No, I literally can't. I literally like just reading this on the document has me sick to my stomach.
So through the video, it was discussing this happened in South Carolina. It was discussing about how we should not have to create legislation to protect our children. And in this case, common sense had 4 years to prevail, and it didn't. That there could have been an attendant on this special needs bus, which would have prevented this entire thing. When I'm watching this video and I'm sitting and looking at this child who is nonverbal, to know that the child is nonverbal, and for something like this that happened, and for her not to be able to not only defend herself, but to be able to tell her parents, the bus driver, or the school, to be able to report it, and to get on the bus after the fact that the first attack happened, and to see this other child that attacked her and to give pushback on it, like on the footage, and to say that's him. And that's the only thing that she could say. She knew like very few words. It literally broke my heart. And there were advocates on this little, it was like a news clip that said that if they had a fraction of the urgency, meaning the school district, if they had a fraction of the urgency to fix the problems as they did, rather than try to hide the warnings, this also would have never happened. And I just want to say, as a parent, I've talked about before, Jackson doesn't ride the bus. I'm so close to the school that I just prefer to do carpool, even though that seems slightly psychotic. And honestly, the bus gets to both mine and Will's neighborhood quicker than we get through carpool. But as a parent, when you're putting your child on a school bus, you're placing your trust in the school district to take care of your child. In this case, it was a nonverbal autistic child who was attacked 96 times on a school bus.
Oh, it wasn't just a one-time incident. Not that would have been any better, but it was multiple times?
Yeah. She was attacked 96 times.
No. Did the child live?
Yes.
Oh,
and to know that like the mom reported that the child was like very excited and, took pride in like wanting to ride the school bus. And to know that she was putting her child on a special needs school bus, trusting that the school district and the driver were going to be taking care of her precious child. And to know that this could happen is awful. Absolutely awful. When I tell you, I wept.
Something that I should be watching with my kids?
I absolutely would not be letting my kids watch this. I mean, if I let Jackson watch this, he would be traumatized. He would like never want to get back on a bus.
Okay, because have you heard of the movie Wonder?
Yes, I have. Didn't you tell me about it before?
Probably, yeah. We've read the book and we watched the movie, and my kids, I thought it was important for my kids to watch that. Obviously, that's a scripted movie, so it's very different than something that happened in real life. But I am very, very open with my kids, and I talk to them about things like this, and I talk to them about, being very nice and accepting people, gay people, straight people, whatever that looks like, people that have special needs. I'm very open with my kids about it. So I just didn't know if this was something that I should, maybe there's points that I can take away and talk to them about, but maybe they shouldn't watch it. But okay.
I mean, I would probably, I always go off of the mindset I watch first before I let Jackson watch anything. And I've just always been like that. But if you are that open with your kids, your kids better than anybody. So if that would be something that you would share with them, I would just encourage you to watch it.
I'll watch it first and then decide.
Jackson is a paranoid patty. So like I have to be so careful about what I do expose him to, because he doesn't let go of it, and he will stay paranoid, and he will literally stay stuck on this. If I showed him this video, he would stay stuck on this child, asking about it every single day.
Oh, my heart. You guys know I love practical gift giving any time of the year. And I've talked about Kiwico 100 times. You've seen me post about them on Instagram. All my kids love them. Kiwico knows a thing or two about delivering fun for all ages. And today's a super rainy day, like I said in the beginning of the episode. And all my kids are different ages, right? We've got 12, 9, 5, and 2. And I just love that these crates come for all ages. So each box is kid approved by a crew of kid testers to ensure they're age appropriate, and they're so fun. And I keep these on hand for school projects and just like rainy days like today. So go above and beyond. Don't get a toy. Don't get something like this. Cultivate your child's natural creativity and curiosity. Give them a subscription to Kiwico as a gift this year.
This is truly a gift that just keeps on giving. We know that I absolutely love gifts like that. I have actually put in an order to have a ton of boxes at my house for Jackson being out of school for Christmas. This is just so fun. It has everything that you need in the box, so you don't even have to think. I know that as a parent, it can be so hard to find creative ways to keep your kids busy and challenged, especially when they're not in school. So Kiwico is going to do all the legwork for you so you can just truly focus on spending the time tackling the projects together. They have 9 different subscription lines for different ages and categories. So there's going to be something for every kid, and there is no commitment. So you can pause or cancel at any time. Give awesome this holiday season with Kiwico. Get your first month of any crate line free at kiwico.com/coffee. That's your first month free at kiwico.com/coffee. Since we have regularly been talking about gift ideas, I have a great gift idea. I've talked about it many times before, but I just need to remind everybody about Skylight Frame. I think that this is such a perfect gift for any family member, especially grandparents, parents. If you know somebody who has literally everything and you want to get them a gift that just feels like it keeps giving and something that's thoughtful, this would be absolutely perfect for them.
I love it because it feels way more personal than like sharing things on, social media or a text message. The Skylight photo frame is a photo frame that you can update instantly, and you're able to do it by email from anywhere. So even if you have like a loved one in California, Texas, wherever, you can literally feel close to them even when you're separated. So it sets up in under 60 seconds. You literally just plug it in. It's touchscreen, and you can it's interactive so that people can like the pictures from wherever they are, and multiple people can send photos to the frame. So if you and your sister, or you and your sibling wanted to send one to your parents or your children's godparents, you guys can do that. And there's 2 different size options. There's the original 10-inch, which is the one that I have. And then they also have a new large 15-inch frame. And they have 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't love it, they'll offer you a full refund.
I absolutely love this idea. I think it's a great gift idea for Christmas. And now as a special offer, you can get $15 off your purchase of a Skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com and enter code coffee. That's right. To get $15 off your purchase of a Skylight frame, just go to skylightframe.com and enter code coffee. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com, promo code coffee. I did see something else in the Facebook group that was specifically a question for you. And it said, how do you cope with not having a family? Mine is pretty much non-existent, while my husband's is so involved in ours and our kids' lives. It almost makes me jealous. Why couldn't I get that? Then I have friends that complain about not wanting to spend time with their mom, sister, family in general. And I always think to myself, I wish I had that. And when I talk about this with anyone, they say the little family you created should be all that matters, but it still hurts, especially around the holidays. Advice.
I actually saw that as well. I think I might have replied to it. Naturally, I think I've gravitated towards men that have larger families. And I didn't actually realize this until I was with Chris. Joe's family is really big and, they're very involved. Same with Javi, same with Chris. I know Elijah is super close with his family. I went through, some time where it was a jealousy thing for me. Like, it was just like I also wanted to invest myself so much into those families that it actually almost became toxic for me. So I had to, that's why, it was really hard for me with Elijah and his family. Like, I was so invested in trying to be friends and be a part of the family with Joe and Javi and Chris that I'm very apprehensive to do it this time. So I really haven't met his whole family. It's hard, but the only thing that I can say, and it's so cliche, is therapy. Like, therapy has really opened my eyes to my relationships with my family, and just, my kids do come first. Like, I saw something the other day and it was like, they came from a divorced family, and if their parents weren't coming to them for their grandkids for the holidays, and they weren't going to see them because they shouldn't have to be torn between this person and that person. And, they really put their own kids' needs first. It does sound cliche. It sounds like you've heard it a million times, but you just have to learn to cope with, your kids are your family, and it will suck for a little while. It stings a little bit, but I think with the right match therapist is the only real way. And just like coming to terms with like your partner's family is essentially your family, and your kids are your number one priority. It sucks. But you just learn to, like, I don't even really think about my family for the holidays anymore.
I mean, got a couple things to say about this. So I think that it is probably a very natural response if you have non-existent family, that you would be jealous of something that you don't have, because I think a natural human instinct is to want what we don't have. This also goes back to the same mindset, though, that I was discussing when I gave my opinion on having kids and wanting, one sex or the other. And, families complaining about mom, sister, other family members, whatever. I also think that's a natural thing to do. When you spend a lot of time with people, you're not going to like everything that someone does. So I also think that that's a natural thing, and you can't get wrapped up into that. From a biblical standpoint for me, and I always was like this when I was married, and regularly told Will this, that when you take someone's hand in marriage, that becomes your immediate family. So husband, wife, children, that is your immediate family. And your parents become extended family with your siblings. That's the way that I've always looked at it. And if I got married again, I would look at it the same way. Doesn't mean that you have any more or less love for your parents than you did prior to marriage. The makeup just changes. And I will say that it was hard for me going through divorce, because I did invest so much time in Will's family. And I know that you probably felt the same way. And you can tell me if you did with Javi and his family, that you almost felt like you divorced the family in a way, because they belong to him, not you. And so when you put that much time investment, it stings.
It does sting. You're 100% correct. And it, I think it's human nature to want to be connected to your own family, but it once you're like invested in your partner's family, that also breaking up with the family is incredibly difficult as well.
Absolutely. Saying all of that, I saw this quote that I wanted to share with you that could be applicable to this person. It was great advice for me. When you are thankful for what you have, you're always rewarded with more. Be grateful for what you have, because it could be the dreams of many. If you focus on problems, you'll have more problems. Focus on your blessings.
Oh, we should post that.
We should definitely post that. Actually, Kristen and I were talking about on the Southern Tea about me being like a fake bamboozling. I was going to do a book club, and now I think I've decided that I'm just going to do like a collective quote club for Coffee Convos and the Southern Tea, because I just love quotes. So I'm just going to do a quote club, because that's obtainable for me.
And that's actually really cute. And I love quote club. Like, that's just so cute.
Wait, I did see this other quote though. And when I saw it, I wanted to send it to you so bad. Sometimes I do see stuff and I'm like, I want to send this to her so bad, but then I don't want you to see it or us to talk about it before we talk about it with everybody else. And it's so applicable. Just because you did something wrong in the past doesn't mean you can't advocate against it now. It doesn't make you a hypocrite. Period. You grew. You don't let people use your past to invalidate your current mindset, growth, a concept, embrace it. Don't know how much needs to be said on that, but I will just say, because I'll use my marriage as an example, because I did things in my marriage doesn't mean that I would do them now, or I wouldn't advocate against some of that stuff now because I know better. When you know better, you do better.
Actually, there was a quote on Grey's Anatomy that was similar to that. And we teach best what we need to learn, what we most need to learn. And he's in the hospital and he's talking about, you know, the messiest people do it best. We give the best advice because we've lived through it, you know, we've done it, and it doesn't make you a hypocrite. You're speaking from experience. So, and I've said that about like my trolls and my haters. Like, I'm like, you guys, they're like, oh, why would we ever take advice from someone who has 3 baby dads? And it's like, because I have 3 baby dads. Like,
literally,
I have lived through the messy shit. I've been cheated on. I've cheated. I've lived on both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? Like, I've lied in relationships. I've not lied in relationships. I've been in healthy relationships. I've been in toxic relationships. I've been the toxic one and I've been the healthy one. And so it's so funny that you brought that up, because I saw the quote on Grey's Anatomy on the other day, and I tweeted the quote from Grey's Anatomy on November 25th, and it said, "We teach best what we most need to learn." And then his next sentence after that was something about like the messiest ones know best. And so that's so crazy that you brought that up, where these are signs and synchronicities that this is exactly what we need to be speaking on.
I will tell you, trolls might say that you don't give good advice, but I find myself going to you for a lot of advice for various different things, because one, I feel like you've had a ton of experience in relationships. I haven't. And so I oftentimes find myself going to advice from you in that area. And then also in parenting and co-parenting, which are not the same. And I get a ton of advice, wise advice from you there, because I feel like you've been doing it for so long.
So why don't other people see it that way? Like, why? Because I also feel like I've asked people who have lived through certain things. You know, Natalie is older than me, but she's been through, you know, she was patient with me through my relationship with Chris, even when she probably wanted to kill me for still talking about it, or, you know, making the same mistakes over and over again. Because she was like, when you're done, you'll be done. You know, like she was patient with me. She was very understanding because she has already been through that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So how come other people don't see it that same way? Like, it's so weird. Like, I want to ask someone who's been through it, not someone who has perfect relationships and I never see them fuck up.
I think I have come to realize that people see what they want to see and they stay committed to whatever they were committed to. So however they thought about you from the jump, they're probably going to stay committed to that. And, you know, those are people who either aren't growing or people who don't accept someone else's growth.
Interesting. Because I feel like I like to give, well, I don't necessarily like it, but I give multiple chances, you know, like sometimes you have to live through the shit to get through the shit. And I don't, you know, you have to experience it to grow. If you don't go through some shit, well, you're just going to stay stagnant. You're going to be the same.
Well, we know we're always going through shit. I mean, shit, if we're breathing, we're going through shit. I do want to hear about this potty training TikTok that you were talking about, because weirdly enough, Kristen and I were talking about me potty training Jackson on this Southern Tea this week, and I have not seen it. So what is this?
So I actually saw something similar to this on TLC years ago, probably when I was pregnant with Isaac. And it's just, it's elimination communication, teaching your infants like straight out of the womb to go to the bathroom on the toilet.
Wait,
and
what?
It's so, yes. And I had seen this on, like, they did a special on TLC like years and years and years ago. And oddly enough, I remember that. And also women who were trying to orgasm while giving birth, which was an even weirder thing to me.
What?
Yeah, it was really, I watched a lot of pregnancy stuff when I was pregnant with Isaac because I was so young. But I do remember when TLC used to do like all the pregnancy shows.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I saw that. And then I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw this girl, and she looked like probably around our age, and she had a 2-month-old baby, and she was talking about potty training her 2-month-old. And there's a lot of controversy around it. I guess it has like 4 million views now. When I saw it, it didn't have that many. But a lot of the comments were going back and forth like, let babies be babies. Like, why are you doing this? You're in the bathroom all the time. And then other people were saying that there are certain studies that say or suggest that, you know, it could doing something like that and making them go to the bathroom at 2 months old and like having those cues and things like that can cause OCD later on. And then other people were saying that it's really unhealthy. It makes their bladder smaller. And then other people were like, this is amazing. Like, how did you do this? And I just couldn't believe how controversial it was. I don't know where the concept came from. Potty training 2 months old, 2-month-olds.
Ma'am, first of all,
it seems very like wild to me.
Kail, I was talking about letting Jackson shit and piss on himself just like until whenever he wanted to, because, you know, he'll tell me whenever he's ready. To me, developmentally, I have concerns with this because I do lay on the side of let babies be babies. And developmentally, I don't think a child at 2 months old is ready to take on a task like this.
Right. Like, it just feels so, I don't, like, why? It just feels like a wild concept. Why would anyone want to do that? And she even says in the video, like, in between diaper changes, she's taking them to the bath, like taking her daughter to the bathroom to sit on the toilet. And I just feel like that just seems like overkill. And I don't know.
I'm
like,
lucky if I'm getting a shower when I have a 2-month-old baby, let alone running back and forth to the bathroom trying to put a 2-month-old with a wobbly ass head on a toilet. Like, make it make sense. This person's trying to make fetch happen. It's just not happening.
It's not going to happen.
I want to know what everybody thinks about it, though.
So this holiday season, we want to give each person we care about a gift that will bring them joy, right? Something that they're going to use. It's practical. And there's one place that you can find a perfect gift for everyone on your list, which is Mrs. Fields cookies. Lindsie told me about this. And if you don't love fresh from the oven cookies, I don't know, you just don't belong here. I love this. This is perfect for just loved ones. It's different. It's not just like a gift card. It's there's thought behind this. So you can get it for your grandparents, parents, kids, maybe coworkers and clients. I love that. This is perfect.
I am actually going to order some of these for teachers' gifts. I think that these are absolutely perfect to just like be able to give them something that is cute, but also that they're going to absolutely love. The cookies are so good. The one that I got for myself, and I had some friends over and we all ate them and absolutely loved them. Jackson as well. It was a cute, like little snowman tower and 3 different size boxes, and they had cookies in each of them. So cute. They had classic flavors like the chocolate chip, salted caramel, the frosted cookies, which are my favorite, brownie bites, and more. So there's going to be something in there that everyone will love. And right now, Mrs. Fields is giving the best deal available only to podcast listeners. Get 25% off everything site-wide when you go to mrsfields.com/coffee. That's right. Mrs. Fields is giving this exclusive deal only to podcast listeners, 25% off everything at mrsfields.com/coffee. That's 25% off at mrsfields.com/coffee.
Best Fiends. Okay. Well, while we're waiting in really long lines this season, we can use Best Fiends. We can play the game. It's free to download. We've talked about it forever. Lindsie and I are competing to see who gets to the highest level first. Although it never ends and it's super fun.
It's gonna be me.
No, it's gonna be me. So I'm highly competitive. Lindsay's highly competitive, and you can collect the cutest little characters. With Best Fiends, you can escape to your own winter wonderland full of exciting puzzle adventures, no matter where you are, which I needed this because, you know, sometimes I just get that brain fog and I need to snap out of it. And so it's nice to quickly play this in the school pickup line. We went to Target the other day, and when I tell you the line was like wrapped around the building, I was like, let me pull out my phone to play Best Fiends. And like I said, it's free to download. So
I am in the thousands level at this point. I've been playing for literally so long. To be honest, Kristen's probably higher level than both Kail and myself combined. I think she plays all the time. If you guys have not heard of Best Fiends, it is a free to download mobile puzzle game with thousands of exciting levels for new adventures and challenges every time you play. There's dozens of unique fiends to collect, so you can customize your team of fiends to defeat menacing slugs. And with offline play, you'll never be stranded without fun, even if you lose internet connection, which we we've all been there. Brand new events and challenges pop up all year round. So you've got a chance to earn exclusive in-game items, characters, and rewards wherever you go this holiday season. Bring a little Wonderland with you. Go to the App Store or Google Play to download Best Fiends for free. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's Friends without the R, Best Fiends. Okay, now foul play.
Okay, foul play.
Oh,
do you want me to read the first one, or are you reading the first one?
You go ahead.
Okay.
I don't have any interest in this. I already read the headline.
Okay. Foul play, bleeding dick story. I'm very afraid. Okay. Hey, girls. First off, y'all are amazing, and I love listening to y'all. Both of you are so relatable, and the growth you both have shown is inspiring. Okay, bleeding dick story. So my husband and I have been together for 17 years, 18 in July. We were high school sweethearts. We got married in 2011 and decided to start trying for a baby pretty quick since we had already been together for 7 years at this point. On this fateful night that has forever traumatized me and my husband, we were having sex and really into it. At one point, he got on top of me and moved my left hand down there to help guide him. Keynote, my newly acquired wedding ring had a diamond that was inset into a prong type design. We both finished at the same time. Oh, that's amazing. He went to our bedroom bathroom to clean up, and I went to the hall bathroom. I sat on the toilet to pee and went to wipe, and I had a lot of blood. Did I just start my period? It wasn't my time for my period. What in the actual fuck where is this blood coming from? My husband walks into the bathroom, his voice in a panic and look of pure fucking terror on his face. He's holding his piece. It is bleeding profusely and said, "Is the blood coming from you or me?" I was in such shock. I didn't see how white his face turned. I said, "I don't know." And he walked back into his bathroom. I'm still on the toilet, confused as fuck, when I hear a boom, the loudest fucking thud of a 6'3", 250-pound man hitting the wall. I jump up, butt ass fucking naked, and run to our room to find my husband passed out on the ground. He was too close to the wall when he passed out and hit it so hard in his head, he put a dent in it. Not only that, but he hit his head so hard it knocked him out. Oh my God. Can you be knocked out and passed out at the same time? That he seized up. Oh my God. His eyes were wide open, his hands frozen to his chest. His mouth was stressed back. What does that mean? Like open?
I don't know. But first of all, that is quite frankly the scariest fucking thing that you would have seen in your entire fucking life. Absolutely it is.
Ever. The scariest fucking thing I've seen in my entire life. I'm freaking the fuck out, still naked, trying to find my phone to call 911. In this time, he wakes up and tries to stand. I'm trying to help him, but he's a big guy. She's 5'2", so short. I get him to sit on the bed and he looks so confused. I'm asking him questions like his name and my name, which he knows. He was asking me what happened, and I asked if he knew what we were just doing. He said, watching a movie. I'm bawling at this point, having a panic attack, trying to call 911. I'm hysterically trying to tell him what happened, and he comes to and remembers. He's like, "Oh yeah, my dick was gushing blood. I told him don't stand up or let me look, I told him don't stand up and let me look." He laid back, and I see that he has a laceration on the tip of the head. While I'm looking, my eye catches that my engagement ring has bloody skin in the diamond prong. Oh. We both see the same thing at the same time, and his face goes back to the look of terror and loses his color again. Luckily, he didn't pass out, but we were both like, what the fuck? My ring had his dick skin in it. Since he hit his head so hard, I made him go to the emergency room. He begged me to make up a different story and to not tell them what happened. He told me to tell them he tripped over the dog and fell into the wall. Not that him and his wife were getting it on and accidentally got freaky with the left hand and wedding ring that scraped his dick skin. But since we were hot and heavy into what we were doing, neither of us noticed. The doctor checked his vitals and his head was all good. I was in such panic mode that I told the doctor every detail of what happened to make sure he was 100% okay. My husband just sat there mortified and turning the darkest shade of red imaginable. The doctor said he was fine and did he want
his member?
The doctor said he was fine, and did he want him to evaluate his member to make sure it was fine? My husband 100% rejected that evaluation. The doctor said the reason there was so much blood is because he had been scraped while erect and in the moment and didn't notice the sting. And then when he ejaculated, all the blood rushed to his dick and made it bleed even more than it would have. I never wore the ring again when it happened. It was absolutely terrifying. But now it's pretty fucking funny. And to add, I'm pretty sure that's the night our son was conceived. So dicks aren't tough and they do bleed. Have a great day, ladies.
First of all,
my God.
That's the scariest part. Like, okay, if I ever were to get married again, I had a princess cut ring before. And worst idea to get a ring. If I could give any advice on marriage, which you should not take mine or Kail's advice, the one piece of advice that I would give you is to not get a ring with prongs because that are like high set, because they literally do snag on everything. Like they'll scrape your refrigerator, scrape your kid, scrape your husband, like just a bad idea. I would get a whole different setting, whole different shape. That's a whole different conversation. All I know is I can confidently say any person that I've been intimate with, this man must be a G, because if he didn't know that his dick was bleeding or like the skin was scraped off from the head of his dick, like they were really into it.
They were really into it, because I
like
feel
very.
like you'd have to notice. Like, isn't that like the most sensitive part of the dick?
Yeah, the tip of the dick.
The tip of the dick.
The tip of the dick.
That's what this podcast episode should be called. Tip of the dick. I'm done.
I literally cannot. Like, oh my God. If first of all, that would just make it over. There would be no conception that night, because at the point that I scrape someone's dick skin off,
but
I would
didn't
just be
feel
like,
it.
I'm saying because of who I have been with, I know they would. So I would just be like, you know what? For the safety of yourself and myself, we are not conceiving tonight. We're going to just like finish this up. We're literally going to wrap up the tip of the dick and we're going to bed.
And we're going to act like this never fucking happened.
This never happened. And also, please buy me a new ring. Okay, second, foul play. I love when somebody tells me that I'm right. Hello, Lindsie was right. The foul play about the drunk peeing incident was going to bring forward all kinds of memories for people. This is kind of a long one, so I'm going to make it as short as possible and hope that it is easy-ish to follow. Anyways, last year, I went on a girls' trip for my birthday with my best friend, another good friend, and her best friend, 2 sets of besties since high school. So we each had a handler. All know about that on girls' trips.
Yeah.
The first day, we drank pretty much all day and we're back at the Airbnb for the night when my good friend got to the point where her best friend was like, it's time for her to go to bed. We also all have had a friend that it's time for them to go to bed.
Immediately, yes.
We all follow suit. The Airbnb only had 3 beds, so me and my best friend shared a bed in a separate room, and the other 2 girls got their own beds out in the main part of the suite. This kind of sounds like our Airbnb travels as well. About an hour later, my best friend is waking me up. And when I finally wake up, I realize that my good friend that we had put to bed was in our bed, cuddled around my best friend. And an important part of this story is that this was the first time these 2 were hanging out. So I was just going to let it happen. But the bed was already small and I like my space. So I get up and try to wake her and she is passed out. I even end up having to wake up her best friend to come help. In the process of trying to wake her, we realize that she is naked from the waist down and still clinging to the other girl like a monkey on a tree branch.
I know where this is going.
Even though she continues inching herself away. We are able to locate her pants in the room, get her dressed, and get her out of the room. And my best friend goes to pee before going back to sleep, but is met with a very large pile of piss on the bathroom floor. Her best friend cleans it up for her and we all go back to bed. The next morning, we are recounting the events of the previous night and the girl doesn't remember any of it and is mortified of the first impression she made, but we are all still hanging out and, of course, have never let her live this night down.
Okay,
first of all,
that's not where I saw this going.
First of all, I was thinking that this story was going to take a sexual turn.
Same. That's exactly what I was thinking. I thought they were like going to be shocked that they were hooking up or something. This is not where I saw that going.
Secondly, I would like to say that I do think that that's another common thing, that not only are drunk peeing incidents a thing, I think drunk nakedness is a thing as well. Weird that she was wearing a shirt and not pants. I'm not going to try to dissect this that too much. But if you are naked and like you have never Kail, could you imagine if it was like the first time that you and I ever met and I got drunk and I was just like naked in the bed, like with my leg laid over you and just like my kitty, like all around?
Well, I need to know what the other girl thought. Like, I need to know what her thoughts were. Like, was she like, oh my God, I'm disgusted? Was she like understanding? Was she also, were they like, was it kind of sexual? Like, I need answers. I need all of the girls to come forward now.
Because of this and stories that are similar to this, it makes me realize that like all humans are very much similar in a lot of ways. As I was reading the story, I was like, probably a lot of us have been in this situation. Now, I have not had a friend that has had no pants on and like laying on someone's leg like a tree branch, but like this is just very weird. I do think that drunk peeing incidents regularly happen. I don't know what it is in alcohol that causes people to feel like they need to do this. I've heard different stories of people like peeing in corners of homes or apartments, like various different things. So yeah, I'm glad that I could really bring some insight to the peeing situation and being a drunk person. So
yeah. Thank you for bringing up all these core memories for everyone.
So if you have not subscribed to the show, you can do that by searching the Purple Podcast app, type in Coffee Combos, click subscribe, click the 5th star, leave us a written review. We're pretty much on every other podcast app as well, wherever you choose to listen from, and always first at Podcast One. We hope you guys have a fantastic week. Please don't make any dicks bleed. Love ya. Bye.
See ya.